Hey guys, welcome back to BUCH Cast. I'm glad to be here. I'm here with Yuri, our co-host.
No special guest today, guys. Sorry.
Just us.
Just us. So
Yeah. Today's gonna be an important episode. We're talking about goal setting. Goal is something huge for the both of us. And now that the new year is coming up, talk about some goal setting.
yeah, I think it's not just goal setting. I think it's consistency too.
Oh, absolutely. And
Um,
tracking all of
yeah,
it as well.
there's a lot of different factors that go into goal setting, and what involves it. It's hard to well, to me it's hard to live life without having goals. You know, I don't know how people do it. They're just like wandering aimlessly.
It's like a
But
boat without a rudder.
yeah, it's but it's having something to look forward to, having something to wake up to every morning, having different goals and aspirations and things you're striving for makes life worth living and gives you something to hope for and try to achieve and meet.
Yeah, and it really does come down to hope because when we set these crazy ambitious goals for ourselves and we have this hope and desire that they'll come true and they're like way out of our reach. But with this hope and just doing these things daily, kind of gets us closer and closer to it and kind of shows us like, look, anything's possible.
Yeah. What do you think about the phrase that the only limiting factor to our goals is our own mindset and our own beliefs?
I truly believe that. I truly believe that we are capable of doing anything we set our minds to. It's just I think that a lot of us were raised in like this world where we have like these limiting beliefs. We're told, look, you can like be real with your goals. Be like teachers telling you like, hey, that's not for everyone. You can't accomplish that. Like this and this and this. We're told all these things growing up. Like, oh, that's impossible. This and this, and we have all these like limiting beliefs. So I think that like erasing all of that stuff from like the past and then like knowing for yourself like, look, anything is truly possible. I think it's a huge factor in goal setting. And
Yeah. I think I had a breakthrough and realized that when I was working as an intern at my W-2 job, and thought came into my mind like, if I wanted to make a single goal next year to make $1 million, would that be possible? And then at first I was like, like hell no, you're right. How is that going to be possible? And then I thought through it and I'm like, hey, if I think about it all the time, if I actually do things, if I don't do anything besides this goal, there's different ways that I can achieve it. Granted that my physical health will probably suffer, probably be sleep deprived, lose friends,
relationships will suffer.
yeah, all that kind of stuff. But if that was my only goal, and that was all that I lived for a whole year,
Yeah.
I think it'd truly be possible for anyone to achieve that, because if that's all you're thinking about, then then you'll do everything in your power to get there.
No, 100%. And that's why I think it's so important to have like these different goals for every aspect of your life and not just financial goals. So like the health. So like, dude, we're trying to grow all together. There's no point of me having $1 million in my account and my health is crappy. Yeah, I mean that's why we're here to talk about these goals in different aspects like health, finances, relationships, just team growing, every different aspect, and it's important that we grow in every aspect, not just financial.
Yeah.
Like
it's very true. Sometimes we have to sacrifice a portion of one side of things to grow in other portions. Like if I was single and probably you too, like we'd be working all day every day,
Dude.
but we can't.
Yeah.
Because we have family and other obligations. So
Yeah.
we gotta take a step back a bit from other goals to to grow together in all goals.
Truthfully, if we were single, dude, I'd be working myself to death. Like I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm so glad I got that support system and married and all these different things. I have like a reason to go home and work as hard as I do. But I couldn't even imagine just us being single, as driven as we are, dude.
Yeah.
I would not be sleeping.
Yeah. I think a big part of goals too is figuring out your why and knowing what your reason is for trying to achieve those goals. because very often times in life, if we just set goals aimlessly or don't have a reason for setting those goals, or
Yeah.
don't have a reason bigger than ourselves for trying to achieve those goals, you're always going to run into obstacles, into roadblocks, and you can either use those as ways to to stop striving towards your goals, or use those things as motivation, and dig deep and see the reason why you're trying to achieve everything that you're trying to achieve,
Yeah.
and use that as fuel to keep what's pushing forward.
Yeah, that's why I think it's extremely important to set goals for yourself, and not based off anyone else's opinion. Like if I was to set goals off like my parents' opinion, whatever, like years ago, whatever, I would have made it a goal to get a bachelor's degree, or this or this or this, to please them, to accomplish that. And I think it's extremely important to remember, like, you're setting these goals to improve your life and the life around you. So what's gonna move the needle forward in your life? And that's just the way we got to look at it. No one else is at that point. I truly believe that if you focus on yourself, then you can please everyone else in your life. Not necessarily please, but be there and take care of in the best way for everyone else in your life.
Have you figured out what your why is?
So currently, why is just supporting me and my wife and trying to give us the best life that I've ever even imagined, and it's possible. Every day we're living a better and better life than we were ever even told we could have. And I guess another reason is, like, dude, like I want to have my parents stop working as well. So that's a huge reason why I work as hard as I do, and that's why. But there's a lot. I see my why changing a lot. I'm sure yours does as well. As you get a son, and your whole world just changes, and your why changes significantly. So what about you?
My why is just trying to live out to my fullest potential, live out to maximize the life God gave me,
Yeah.
and try to achieve as much as I can, because that's what God put us on here to do.
Yeah.
We're not God put us on this earth at the time we're born, to the parents were born, gave us the abilities and talents we have to achieve the things that He wants us to achieve. And as the parable in the Bible says, God gave somebody 5 talents, somebody 2, and somebody 1, and it's our duty to double those talents and bring benefit to God's kingdom, and not just bury them and just use them for ourselves. Because the guy that had one talent, he that's just barely enough for him to live off of himself. So if you're struggling yourself, then you don't really have the ability to help others. But if you're given more talents, more abilities, then you can go out and help others. And I think that's what God put us on this earth to do, not just to live
I agree.
for ourselves, but to try to help others and make the world a better place.
Oh, dude, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, yeah, let's go back to talking about these goals and why we fail these goals. So I think that it's every year everyone does the same damn thing. Every year, it's almost January. Every family, whatever, every couple, every person talks like, man, next year I want to do this and this and this. I'm gonna hit the gym. And then, as we know, for those gym goers every day, like, January is like the busiest month ever, and you're just like, dude, when are these people gonna be gone? But every year we know that as soon as like February hits, or even if not prior to February, half the gyms are already gone. Those memberships are being wasted. So, like, what is something we could do to make these goals and actually stick with them?
I think it's just, like I said at the beginning, being consistent and tracking our goals, watching our numbers,
Tracking them.
Sitting down either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, seeing if we're on track to meet those goals. And I think a big factor is also breaking them down. Like if I have a goal of losing 50 pounds in a year, then I can break that down to see how many pounds that is monthly, how many pounds that is weekly. What I got to do to to meet those goals. And because if you just see a big goal, it seems what's called overwhelming. But like the parable goes, you eat a elephant just one bite at a time. So if you just keep keep going one step at a time, then you'll get there eventually. But it's important to map out those steps and know what those steps are and what things you have to do in each step to get to the level that you're trying to get to.
No, absolutely. That's something we're finally getting better at here at Butch, and something we as people are just getting better at, like actually tracking our consistency throughout the year, and doing what we said we're gonna do. We set a lot of these goals, and they kind of just slowly fall off. They just kind of like, oh, I'm too busy with work, this and this and this. This doesn't need as much attention. But like, and the reality is, they're just like giving you 1 hour every biweekly or weekly, whatever it is, throughout the year. I mean, that goal gets accomplished. So that's something we're gonna try to get better at as well.
How do you differentiate like a goal and a pipe dream? You know, like how do you stay aware?
How bad do you really want it? I guess. I mean, it's
because there's a fine line though between like achievable goals and unachievable goals.
Why? Like, I mean, like, dude.
For instance, like,
yeah.
not everyone's born equal, right? Like, you can't go and become a NBA player.
What you mean, Michael Jordan? Who?
All right, fine. You
Yeah.
can't go and become an NBA player and compete with like LeBron James. That's like an unachievable goal, right? Like, there's a fine line.
He has a better chance than me. No, I don't think that anyone should be told what's unrealistic and what's realistic ever. Like, dude, like it might seem laughable. Someone that is average size is wanting to be in the NBA, but like I don't think that anyone's like goals should be like laughable or like unachievable in a sense, because like, dude, who knows? Like, there's short people in the NBA, you know?
So you don't believe in constructive criticism?
I love constructive criticism. I think it's one of the things that when you have those honest people around you in your life that truly want to see you grow and point out, hey, you can do this and this and this to grow. I think it's fascinating. But I think that there's a lot of times that people have this crazy goal, and because like none of their friends have ever seen anyone accomplish it, they just automatically crap talk it, and like they're like, oh, dude, it's not
well, what if
achievable.
they're not crap talking it? What if, you know, maybe they take like an advice approach and maybe recenter their focus on more achievable goals? Because like both of you can agree, right? If you achieve goals, you feel better about yourself and it motivates you to achieve more, right?
Yeah.
If they're caught up on that unachievable goal right off the bat, they're not open to.
I think if you set goals based on others expectations, or set goals based on what the others want for you, or what you see in others, that's already your first step to failure, because every individual has their own goals, you know, and everyone has their own dreams and what they want to accomplish. And, you know, just because I might have different goals than you doesn't make your goals wrong, or, you know, my goal is bigger or you're smaller. But also there's a difference between talent and grit and dedication. You know, oftentimes the most successful people aren't the most talented people. They're just the ones that worked harder
and consistent.
And you know, and because they didn't have the talent that others had, that's what forced them to work harder and dedicate more time into it. But it also leads to the fact of, you know, it's what do you want to be good at, right? Like, I'm sure if I wanted to become a good basketball player, I could probably dedicate a lot of time and become pretty decent. But, you know, is the time commitment, is the dedication and the amount I have to dedicate to it worth it for me with my goals? You know, so if I want to, it depends on what my strengths are and what I want to achieve and focus on in life.
Yeah. So I don't know, dude. Like, I don't think that there's constructive criticism when it comes to goals. I think that goals are something that you don't criticize of someone's, because like, dude, I think in this day and in this world, like literally anything is possible. Like, there's like kids selling NFTs making millions of dollars like on summer break. Like, dude, there's like people doing all these like things that were unimaginable years ago. And so like, I think that the way that this world is progressing and in the way anyone's welcome to do anything, I don't think that there's any limit on like the goal you could achieve. Like, if I said like, hey, I want to be in the NBA, I like we talked about earlier, I guess it just breaks it down. Like, if I can't even make the high school team, like, then give me some constructive criticism, you know. But like if I'm like crushing it through high school, going to college, and have this like dream of being in the NBA, like no one else could just tell me like, oh, it's unachievable. But like if I'm like complete crap and can't even make the damn high school team, and someone's like, yo, try out soccer, like that's constructive criticism to me. Like maybe look at something else. But like I don't know, man. Everyone, I don't think that. I think that everything's achievable at this point in my life. So that's my answer to that.
How do you guys? I mean, you brought up faith, so like, how do you prioritize your goals in terms of faith? Like, because there are worldly goals, right, and spiritual goals.
Well,
because the Bible speaks on our life isn't on this earth, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you prioritize your spirituality? And
I filter everything through a biblical lens, and I've come to realize, especially this year, this year has been a reconstructing and deep thinking year for me, and Boris, I think for you as well. And I've come to realize that without God I'm nothing, and if I don't have God's blessing, if I don't trust Him with things can go bad very quickly. And as cool as I thought I was, as smart as I thought I was, God showed me that it's not the case. And He's the one that gives us everything that we have, and He's the one that entrusts us with the talents that we have. And it's not ours. We're just a vessel that God is using for His purpose. And if we don't acknowledge that, and we don't realize that it's actually Him working through us, and we think that it's just ourselves, then He'll show us quickly that that's not the case. And when He takes away His blessing, it's not a pretty sight. So that's what I've come to realize. So my top priority is always spiritual, and making sure that the things that I'm trying to achieve fit in line with what God wants me to do in life. And I just pray about it, fast about it, and leave it in His hands. And usually He shows me pretty quick whether it's a path I should be taking, or whether He wants me to do something totally different.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. This year's been a whole lot of challenges. A lot of things we've had to overcome and learn, and like, yeah, dude, that was spot on. Like, yeah, I mean, God shows you right away, like, if something's not meant to be, you see it, and there's multiple signs. And you can't. One thing I realized recently actually is you can't force through things. Like you can't force things to happen. As much as you can force things to happen. Like nothing will go as you want it to when it's not God's will or God's plan. So it's like with the house thing, dude, like with my house purchase, oh my God. Yeah. So like nothing went to plan, like every contractor cost more, everything got delayed, everything got whatever. And like you start to see like, hey man, like if this was God's will, like things would be a little bit more simple. Things would be a little bit more easygoing, but not like roadblock after roadblock after roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, and like not stopping until like it's over. Then you're just like, damn. Let me learn.
That's how people in the world. That's how people without God, without the Holy Spirit live. They just go about and figure things out themselves. But thankfully we have a higher power. We have somebody that can make those choices for us and can help us and guide us. We just have to submit to His process and humble ourselves and be willing to accept lessons He wants to teach us and do things the way that He wants us.
It's hard. It's hard, but essential.
For sure, it's hard. For sure, it's hard. The trial and the things God leads us through to break us and mold us and show us that it's actually Him in control and not us is definitely not easy, but it's definitely beneficial in the end.
And it's essential for us to grow and be who we're truly meant to be. But
Well, anyways, hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys took something away. I think I've come to realize that I get more benefit out of this podcast doing it myself than even sending it out to you guys to see. But hopefully you guys are learning stuff as well. If you guys have any questions or have things you guys want us to discuss or want to know more about, you guys probably have our numbers. Text us, call us, send us
just let us know.
Comment on YouTube. But other than that, see you guys in the next one.
You can take away everything that I ever worked for. I'ma keep on pushing till I earn more. I won't ever fall. I'm never